I've got to ask you to weigh in on the internal civil war, whatever you want to call it, that happened in advance of the Iranian strike. Our mutual friend Tucker was very outspoken against it. Trump did it anyway. He did hear people out. He met with you, he met with Bannon, he talked to Tucker. He decided to go a different way. But what do you make of, the division? Because I don't even know if it's the left. It seems more like the neocon wing of the party is very celebratory that he didn't listen to Tucker and others like Tucker. And I just don't see it like that. I mean, Tucker's got his very strong views. They're very sincerely held. And I think to his credit, he voiced them. Even though he loves Trump, he voiced them and he said, I don't agree with it. And then when he felt he went too far, he apologized to the president for the way in which he did it. Didn't cause him to abandon his views. But in any event, some on the right, I think even more than the left, are having a lot of fun with this like civil war. And you're on the so-called unofficial board of directors. So what do you make of it?
Well, I mean, if you followed my feed the last couple of weeks, I haven't engaged, and I don't do this actually, in any of the back and forth of the personal stuff. I'm like in a unique spot where I call Tucker a good friend. I call Tucker a good friend, and I call Mark Levin a good friend. I'm actually in a unique spot. And, they obviously have the agency to do what they want to do. I've tried to take a bigger picture view, and my statements were always very clear, both privately and publicly, because you're right, I meet with the president, talked about this, and I said, I trust you 100%, Mr. President. Whatever you do, we have your back, but allow me to try to introduce one element, which is the younger voters that I represent on college campuses. They are war-weary. They don't want foreign conflict. They don't want foreign intervention. And so just please keep that in mind when you're going about this, that you won the youth vote, that we have this incredible under 30 coalition. It's my 13 years of labor and toil, and only because of you it's possible. So please, factor that in. And he did, it seems like, right? He didn't want something long, and he accomplished all of it together. And I think it was important that those of us kind of introduced some caution into the conversation, because if you don't introduce caution into the conversation, things can get wildly out of control. And I was good for my word, by the way. As soon as those strikes were launched on Saturday, and Megyn, you can attest to this on social, I had the president's back resolutely. I said, we must trust President Trump. He made the right decision. We stand with President Trump, as I said I would, and I did.